What's up, YouTube? Today I'm taking you guys along for a ride. I'm heading to a 8 unit that I bought right as the pandemic was getting announced happening. I remember talking to the seller January 2020, and we got it in contract February and closed March. So, you know, right as it was all being announced, and, you know, fear was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried, but I wasn't gonna back out because I took emotion out of it, and I use, you know, logic, numbers, things that, you know, are keys to real estate investing. Long story short, the guy was, you know, an older gentleman, owned it for I think 20 plus years. He did not want to be an active investor anymore, and was using the proceeds to do a 1031 into a syndication. But to not bother you with that, that's not what this video is about. He at that time was only getting $2,800 in gross rents, which was very low for 8 units. You know, divide 2,800 by 8 and see what that equals out to. Not a lot. So needless to say, I bought this property at a super discount. The exterior looked great. You know, the building itself was beautiful. It's just the tenant base and the insides were not up to par, you know, and that's something that people typically forget. You know, you buy an asset years down the road, you got to think ahead, like, hey, do I ever plan on selling this? And when I do, you know, what is that going to look like? Well, if you don't manage it right throughout that time, you're going to lose equity. You don't fix little things here and there, a little staining, you know, on the ceiling, it might lead to bigger problems. You might want to look into it instead of just slapping paint over it. Next thing you know, you've got a unit that got water damage from the unit above, or a tank blows up. Now the drywall's all caved in. You know, just you manage your property, you keep your equity. So anyway, I bought it at a discount. It was only getting $2,800 in gross rents. I got it up to $5,800 currently. But today is the day where one of the guys who's been in there the longest, and one of the he actually is the last remaining tenant from the previous owner. So we're gonna go and take a look at his unit. I know what it looks like. I just want to show you guys. Sorry, I was letting somebody pass by, but it's rough. You know, this guy had 2 strokes prior to me purchasing it, you know, with the previous owner. Couldn't, you know, really walk, couldn't really talk. It was real choppy and stuttery, but he was awesome, man. He was a good guy. But recently he ended up he fell one time and he was screaming help. You know, I'm not around, I don't live there, so residents next door heard it, so they just called for help. You know, the meds arrived and the police arrived. I got there right in time as the meds were leaving, and the officer was still on site and talked to him. Then day 2 comes, you know, he's back. He got released that same day. Second day, same thing. You know, the resident shoots me a text, says, hey man, I've already called, help is on their way. I heard him screaming for help again. So, you know, at this point it's like, okay, you got to do a little bit more and find out what's going on. You already know that his health issues are there, and this sounds like a fast decline, you know. So what I ended up doing was, because I didn't have any contacts of relatives or anything, so I remembered that there was a guy that used to always come and check in on him, and they retired together at the place that they worked at. So finally I got a hold of him, and through him I got a hold of his older brother. Found out that there's like 11 siblings, and the brother was 78. Reason why I never had contacts before was because the previous landlord just didn't have anything on record. So I'm glad that I was able to, you know, figure that out. We got him into an assisted living place. Both agreed that, hey, it's not good for him to, you know, be living on his own. He needs help. So, you know, I'm excited for that. I'm glad that this guy got the help that he needed. You know, I didn't want to boot him out and just bump his rent crazy, you know, just to get him out. Where's he going to go? So, you know, things worked out for the best. And let's go take a look at what we've got going on. I just left, and I'm very, very impressed with the guys. I was gone not even an hour and a half. You know, come right back, and the entire unit is demoed. Just happy, man. You know, when you find good guys, man, just keep them around, pay them well, and keep them busy. You're not gonna have, you know, maybe the possibility of doing that initially when you're starting, and don't get discouraged. Or you might not have a deal every week, you know, every month, something like that, you know, to keep guys that busy and keep them around, and that's okay. But if you don't, make sure that you do pay them well, pay them on time, let them know they're respected, stop by, offer to help, you know, let them know you don't mind getting your hands dirty, bring them food, you know, just little things like that. So when you do call, you know, they might have a full schedule, you know, a lot of things going on, and if anybody else called, they may not, you know, even consider squeezing them in. But you could stick out and say, hey, this guy's not an asshole, this guy always pays us, he pays us on time, he pays us well. Money talks. Let them know you don't mind helping out if you need to. You definitely don't want to do it all the time. You know, you want to be an investor and work on your business and not in your business. But early on, make them sacrifices. You know, bring them coffee, bring them water, bring them food. And they may, you know, squeeze you in if it's a little, you know, job that you got, or hey, even if it's a big job that you have. Just, you know, treat folks well, and hopefully they do the same in return. It's typically how it goes. So that's all. And then, you know, I'll check in periodically, you know, as this project moves along, and show you guys the end result.